We got a special guest, as you can see below, special guest coming through to chat with us, give us the pro tips. We need the pro tips. I'm tired of these, you know, these 1, 2, 3 steps. I need the pro tips. I need some real guidance. How do I break into cybersecurity? What's been working for folks? And that's what we're gonna learn today. What's up, Vinny? What's up, Belisma? Welcome in, welcome in. I'm letting folks up to come chat with me, come holler at us, come talk to us. We're talking about cybersecurity. What's up, Vinny? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm good. Are you in the industry? Or are you trying to break into the industry? What's your status?
Um, so right now I'm currently kind of into it. I have passed my computational.
Either you establish or you emerging. Which one are you, bro? Are you emerging?
I'm emerging.
All right, bet. Go ahead. Go ahead. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Yeah. So basically, I was mentored by an IT teacher of
Good.
mine who helped found one of the colleges
Bet.
um, of cybersecurity
You can't lose, bro. You can't lose.
for Purdue
Purdue.
Polytechnic.
Polytech. Yeah, yeah,
You ever
yeah.
heard of that?
Yeah, bro.
So my mentor, he mentored me and he helped set that up back in the 80s or 70s.
Right.
Um, I had hands-on experience with him. I was able to do talks. I was able to do internships under him. And my question is, how do you establish yourself better in that area where you start getting more internships and hopefully get a 6 or 7 figure job right out of college?
Right out of college. So guess what? You're in luck today, bro. You're in luck today. And we have our special guest in the building. I got him up on the panel. Tom is here to chat with us. I'll take my first swing at it. What's up, Kurt? What's up, Kurt with AI? Check out his page. He's got some crazy, great things going on with AI. Learn your way around vibe coding. So let me take a stab at this first, Tom, and then you can come in and just start punching and beating it up real quick. So the question was, how do you and Vinny, let me know if I got something backwards or something. The question is, how do you have a successful transition from college into the workspace and leveraging, what'd you say, internships?
Yes, internships, experiences, um, and just connecting to the right people.
Check it out. So you already said some key things about some key things about that's important here, and that's to find a mentor. Vinny has already shared his mentor that he has connected with at some point is deep into the industry, and I think that's great. That's a great option to have. But you need multiple mentors. You need folks who are also just broken in and had just had that scenario where they were just in college and then they're transitioning to something that maybe more specifically the role that you want, and that's where I'll lead it. The role that you want to work, is it in IT, is it cybersecurity, is it network security, is it what within
Is
cyber,
it?
you already know it.
Yeah.
What is it, bro?
Network. So my first, okay, the first role is I want to establish a network engineer. Second would be network architecture, and I want to do a remote position where I can just every 3 to 5 days just call on a Zoom. Company gives me what I need to work on, what things they need figured out, and I can just work on that.
And then
Hopefully, we can do virtual machines, do it through virtual machines instead of me physically being there. So
exactly,
mainly, I want to do software
exactly.
and like network engineering.
Okay, I'm tracking. I'm tracking. So, what are you currently getting the what are you going to school for right now?
Yeah, so I'm going for computer information technologies infrastructure right now. I
Nice.
was talking to one guy, my boy Noah, and we were just discussing how you got to get more well-rounded mindset. So don't just focus on the network side and the software side. Focus on the hardware side and the actual physical hands-on stuff. You know.
I like that. I like that. I'm not mad at it. When we think about the transition, the first thing is, do you have the foundation? So you're already building that by attending school. Yeah, there's some theoretical, a lot of theoretical, but yeah, they'll probably have you do labs and different things so that way you're versed up. But that's another thing. Like, what hands-on experience can you get with networking? Can you get with architecture, designing, managing? Can you get with the you know, also just well-rounded piece, not just be pigeonhole yourself into this awesome network engineer, but also knowing, okay, I want to be a network engineer, but at the same time, um, you know, what technology are you adopting? Are you adopting any Cisco? Are you adopting any specific, you know, Palo Alto? Or do you have a certain um, technology that you're going to lean more towards? So I would look into that as one option. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man. What is Cisco again? I don't have a certification that yet.
yeah. So um, yeah. So anyone, if you don't know some of your networking foundation, Cisco is going to be one of the major players in the space. One of the major players in the networking space. And check them out if you haven't heard of them. They have a lot of great material that you can get versed up on from their NetAcad Academy to Cisco Packet Tracer to other bells and whistles that the Cisco umbrella is huge. They make a bunch of different acquisitions, and they have a huge platform. So let's get this switched over to the special guest. I've had enough. I had enough shine for the day. We're gonna switch it over to Tom. Tom, welcome in, bro. Welcome in. Let me bring you up on the
Good
big
to see you,
screen.
Tom.
How
Oh
you
shoot, got
doing,
me
bro?
eating, bro.
Oh, okay. Let me
Nah, nah, you good, dude. You good, you good.
Hey man, thanks for taking the time to chat with us, bro, and hanging out. And folks are trying to figure out how to break into cybersecurity. If you aren't already following Tom, he talks about it every single day, and great content that he's delivering. And so we want to learn, bro. So did you want to reply to anything so far that Vinny had, or did you want to take this into a different direction?
Honestly, I wasn't. I was trying to get my stuff together while he was talking, so I wasn't really paying much attention. But I did hear um a few things. But I think you're kind of in the right direction. But I would say I don't think your direction is as tailored as you think it is. I think you need to tailor it down even more. But I think you're on the right path as far as like college internships. I believe your first internship doesn't really have to be like networking or cybersecurity based, but I think your second or the ones after that need to be tailored, and also the finding the mentor part where like you want to deal with somebody who's doing exactly what you want to do when you graduate. And I think I'm not sure if it was you or Nate that mentioned getting with somebody who was like semi new into the industry. So I think that makes sense too. To be honest, you don't really want to get with somebody who's like who's been in the industry for 10 years, and at that point, yeah, they might have all the experience, but they don't really understand what it's like to break in. And yeah, I think that's all I'll add to that for now.
Yeah, I like that. Anything from your end, Vinny, to keep the conversation rolling, or you want me to reset the room, get folks acclimated?
Yeah. So, Tom, st- are you currently in like? Are you in a job right now, or are you in an internship? Are you bouncing back and forth? What like? Where are you in life right now?
I currently do incident response at the oil and gas. So yes, I'm currently working the job full time.
Okay. So, instant response. What is that?
You can think I don't know. So have you heard of security operations within like cybersecurity?
So, like, yeah, like uh, you do those network reports.
So I do incident response is just kind of, you can think about it like being a firefighter, but for cybersecurity. Whenever something goes bad, my team and I investigate, and then we try to return our company to its functioning state. So at least 20% of the time. The other times it's just doing like security operations work. So dealing with triaging phishing emails, dealing with risk-based alerts, dealing with anything defensive security. That's what we deal with. So
Yeah, so actually, that's more what's down my alley. Like I like messing around with virtual machines and like messing around with like the network structure, you know, command prompt, to get even deeper into it, like Wireshark and all those other external softwares. Um, how how were you able to get into a job? Six or you said 6 or 7 figure job, right?
seven figure,
7 figures.
not 7 years, not 7 figure US dollars though.
That
Yeah,
was
seven figures is a stretch, man. I don't personally know anybody that makes 7 figures off of tech, to be honest. But maybe it's possible. Maybe at a super senior level at like Google or something, you could make 7 figures. But
So IT, the reason I got into cyber is because I'm pretty good at it, but also like I was hoping to figure out whether or not I could get 6 figures out the door.
to be honest, bro, um, if you're focusing on like the amount that you're gonna make out the door and you want it to be 6 figure so bad, what if you get an offer that's 99,000? Would you take it or not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna start from low and go up. You know, play smart, not hard.
Yeah, then honestly, I think you should focus on the journey and then enjoy the learning process, and then whatever results you get out of it, as long as you get to the end goal. And I noticed earlier you were talking about like the job has to be remote. Um, Remote work is kind of going away, to be honest. So I think you should dip. My bad, I'm reading the comments.
what
I
what are
think I
what are
think you
the
should
odds,
definitely be more
bro?
open minded.
Yo, Nate, put fly cyber guy on.
Yeah, I'll yank them up. So what? Let's talk about it though. Let's break it down because I see where you're coming from, Tom. But I'm just curious. What are the percentages here that we're talking about? And I guess it depends, obviously, what type of school you go to, what type of education you have, what type of ambition you have. But when it comes to those remote roles today, let's say Vinny was getting ready to graduate, sometime this year. Is there a remote role that he can grab for the hitting the range that he's looking for, and what are the odds of him being able to obtain that role, acquire it?
So above 6 figures and remote as a new grad,
Yep.
probably less than 1%, to be honest.
Dang.
And that's just me being realistic, man. Above 6 figures and then you're fully remote, new grad, like no experience, like within the actual industry, probably less than 1%, to be honest. That's just the reality of it. I'm not saying it's not possible, but even
Not
like these
happening, bro. It's not
e-
happening.
even these big tech companies, like bro, if you're gonna work at Amazon for example, right now, Amazon is 5 days in the office. I think Microsoft is like the only big tech company that's not fully in the office. Maybe Microsoft and Meta or something. But again, those companies are like really hard to get into. Google's in the office right now.
So I'm cooked.
Google still does hybrid.
I'm cooked,
You
right?
not.
But
Hold
you're not
on.
cook. I work a hybrid schedule, bro. You're good, bro.
Okay, so I want to get a hybrid. I want to get at least a hybrid if I can. You know, like I don't want to get
If
fully
you if
five.
you live in a major city, I think you can get a hybrid job.
That's what I need.
Hybrid for early career, you're kind of robbing yourself of the ability to grow. Um, I've been in cybersecurity for a little bit over 8 years, both for the Department of Defense and quite a bit of contracting companies in between that time. Um, Cybersecurity has changed. It's one of those career fields. It's always changing. It's always growing, man. Um, but if you get like a full-time role, like full-time in office in like a SOC or security responder, incident responder, you're going to gain so much more knowledge. It's going to help you put yourself in a better situation for that remote role probably 2-3 years down the line.
That's awesome. So
Totally doable.
I want to start. Obviously, I know I'm not going to start off with, oh my gosh, 7 figures, but like, I want to work my way up. I want to, maybe
Dude,
start.
no offense, but 7 figures is $1 million a year, right?
Yeah, I don't
But that's
listen.
a lot.
I don't
That's a lot of
speak.
money.
I don't speak negativity. So if I want to say I'm gonna make 7 figures, I'm gonna make 7 figures.
Okay.
I don't like
the
to have that
attitude.
negative mindset.
I like the
oh,
attitude. So let's
6 figures
let's
is too much.
let's pivot the conversation over here.
Learn
Now,
everything you can to start a business, man. That's the fastest route to it.
okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, so
That too.
let's pivot here. Tom, what are some of the qualities of folks who are landing those six-figure remote jobs that are available today? What are some of the characteristics that they bring to the table in order to land that role?
So I would say the biggest thing for you to be, I'll use the word top talent in this situation. You just need to be top talent. To be honest, you need to be able to push back as far as like, or you need to be in a position where you have options. I'll put it that just to start off. You can't really be somebody who went to college and let's say you have like 1 or 2 internships. You went to like a smaller school. Let's say you have like a 3.2 GPA. You need to be like somebody who is very desirable, and then from there you have options. So obviously you're able to pick whatever you want. And that's not to say you're not like top talent or whatever, but I'm just saying like that increases your odds of like being like, okay, now you're known in the industry, at least semi. Even though in cybersecurity, being undergrad, you don't really like build a reputation for yourself. But let's say you're semi-known in the industry, like you've interned at Apple, you've interned at Microsoft, and then these folks know you're. Let's say there's this company out here that's like mid-sized, and they're building out a new security team, and the security team is fully remote. They'll probably reach out to you, and be like, "Oh, okay, we know this guy. Intern here, intern here. He's top talent." So you can really go in there and negotiate however much you want to make. You're like, okay, I can't. I'm not gonna work except if it's like 120 a year, 130 a year, whatever. But if you're, I'm not no shade to you, but if you're like, random, if you're just random guy, you don't really have projects, don't really have like certifications, and you're not like attractive to like the company.
So, what makes you attractive to a company? Is it your projects versus your certifications? Which one's more attractive?
It's never gonna be one thing, bro. You need to be somebody who's like the top 1% in everything. Certifications, internships. Bro, Roman, chill. I'm not calling you out, bro. Certifications,
Hey, you're calling
internships.
me out, dude.
The school you went to. Because if you're good at one of those things, I mean that's okay, but you need to be good at like all 3, 4 of those things, or you need to check all the boxes pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you definitely calling me out, bro. My resume, I had someone do my resume to make it clean. And I still don't think it looks good. Like, I've only worked, like, factory jobs. I've worked fast food jobs. I've done leadership stuff. But
Somebody in the comments says you don't need internships. If you're gonna go to college and you don't get an internship, you might as well not go to college.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Might as well not go to college, man.
Like,
The associate.
what matters more, internships or projects versus experience versus certifications?
So everything that you just said, you need to have all of them. There's not one thing that I would say matters, especially if you're aiming for that goal of 6 figures and you want to work remotely. You need to have all of them, and you need to be good at all of them.
Dang.
I think to go into Tom's point, it's not that they're going to look at you and say, "Oh, you know what? This guy is, really great, but he doesn't have certs." Don't give him a reason not to pick you. I think is what I'm reading between the lines there. If you have you're working on a degree, or you have a degree, you have an internship, you have a cert or two, it shows that you're hungry and that you're working towards it. Which for a lot of employers, at least my history or my experience has been, enough for them to take a chance on you. So.
Yeah, let's
I
reset the
have
room,
a
y'all.
I have a couple of certs,
Hold on, Vinny. Let me reset the room real
and I
quick.
have
Hey, welcome in, everyone. We got a bunch of people in here. Today, we're talking about how to break into cybersecurity. Vinny has already put some great fillers out there, and we've been able to touch on a couple of things. We want to keep going. We want this conversation to keep going. And Redding, thanks, Redding, thanks for coming up and talking and sharing. That your insights is also valuable. And I'm trying to keep up with the chat. So welcome in. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. If you want to come up and chat, feel free to request up and we'll get the party started. Pass it over to Tom and wherever you want to take it, bro.
I mean, it's your pod, so I guess we can just go off the um maybe the chat or whatever questions you have for me. I can give a background about myself a little bit. If
Yeah,
you're okay
let's
with
start
that.
with the nice background and take your time, and then I'll be looking for some questions, and if anyone needs to come off mute, feel free to hop in.
Yeah, I mean, there's not like an extensive background that I have, but I've pretty much been doing cyber for like a little bit over 4 years now, I believe. Been doing blue team. Someone said, let's hear the origin story. Been doing blue team my whole career. Currently do incident response at oil and gas. Before I was doing security operations at a consulting firm, and yeah, I mean that's about it. There's not too much interesting stuff going on, but I'm just super passionate about like defending the defensive part of security, and hopefully we get some good questions in here. We can get some people maybe in the box to answer some questions. So
Yup. I'll throw one at you. So since you said you're heavy into the defensive side, is it true that to be the best defensive resource in your environment, you have to have a great offensive understanding, knowledge base? Or can you speak to that?
so great. You don't need a great offensive like mindset. You need I mean, I'll say you definitely need to understand like the way an attacker would think, but great, I feel like would be a stretch to be honest. I don't think I have a great offensive strategy. I mean, I did. There's definitely some times, at my job, I'm like, okay, how would an adversary, approach this, et cetera. But yeah, great is like, man, if I had a great mindset, I mean, or like a great mentality towards like red teaming and everything, I might just be a red teamer because they pay more, man. So.
I got you.
But it definitely helps for sure as far as like understanding what to look for, like predicting what the attacker might do. But I don't think you need to have a great, but again, this is also one of those things where if you're good at this, you can sell yourself. I'm like, hey, I do have a red teaming background, so that definitely helps you, get paid more, and yeah.
Nice. So all right. Well, so what's everyone trying to figure out? How do we break in? Like, what's someone
Somebody
should.
said
What you got?
Somebody said, "What percentage of your job is pasting into virus total?" Well, that's actually funny. Realistically, maybe 3% of my job. I don't really use virus total anymore, to be honest. I don't know. It's honest. If your company uses like a SOAR platform, typically virus total is baked into like the machine learning. Machine learning already does all that for you, but I don't really use it. So
host.
What you got?
I got a question for Redding.
Go
Reddick,
ahead. Go ahead.
Reddick,
I go by Jake. That works.
or Jake. So my question is, you said you're a defense analyst for the government.
Yeah, I just left my role as a cybersecurity engineer principal. It was kind of a really weird way. They upscaled the job title a lot. It was more of actual more analyst type shit, but because it required a clearance, the pay band didn't align.
Hey.
Oh shoot.
All right, guys. Let me time out on the play. Earlier today, I went live, and is he in here? Where is he? No, he's not in here, but someone came through my life and dirtied it up with all kind of foul language, and you risk the health of the live whenever you do that. So just try to use TikTok friendly language. Try to be as respectful as possible. But go ahead, come off mute, bro. Go ahead and get it out. I just got to make sure we level set here.
You're 100% for catching me on that. I apologize. Thanks for. So yeah, I joined the military back in 2019 and to the reserves. I went through their whole IT program, got the Security Plus, got the basic stuff out of the way. Did that for a couple of years before I decided, hey, I had enough of active duty. So I went into the reserves, and that's when I started with my contracting job. Within my entire time doing contracting, it has all been with the military. So I'm aware of some of the products and services that are used on the civilian side, but that is not government. But as a whole, most of my experience is on the government side, which if you can get that clearance with the Security Plus, they say that it makes things a little bit more friendly looking for jobs because it's two big chunks that you cut out, the Security Plus and the clearance, because that's basically government is the number one client for anybody with that or government adjacent. So,
That's
but yeah, ask away, Vinny. What was
good point? Good point.
Oh yeah, so I was wondering.
Hold on, Vinny. Since we got to that area, I want Tom to help us out here with the government space. Is government a good way to break into cybersecurity, going that route? And then, Reddick, if you back them up with any experience, feel free.
So I work in the private sector, but I mean I have heard a lot of things about people who have Security Plus and then or are able to get a security clearance. It's definitely reliable as far as like breaking into like some sort of like tech role and then work your way up to cybersecurity. But never worked for the government. Probably never will, to be honest, because I like rapid changes. I like new technology, and I'm not gonna say my third point, but yeah.
That's cool.
I hear you, Tom. You are 100% about the government being slow to change. The framework that they use is the NIST framework for most of cybersecurity things, and there's little revisions every year, but it's basically the same thing since like 2012 when it initially came out. With that, also government doesn't like to splurge. Most departments that I've worked, Department of Defense, Department of State, they do not like to splurge on cybersecurity. It's one of those things they have enough just to check the box, which I imagine it's pretty similar to the civilian sector that people don't want it until they absolutely need it, and at that point it's too late.
So when you're working for the government, what exactly did they put you on? Like within what you can say, basically, like what were the tasks that you had to do?
So, my first one right out of the military, that was, I don't know if you've heard the term staging, but it's basically you have a machine or you have a server and you have to lock the machine down. It could be anything from changing passwords to a minimum requirements set by the security policy, which is NIST. Or it could be, complex is, closing multiple ports, or if you have like a database, those are one of my least favorite because the way that they are configured and the way they work, they are very talkative protocols. So, or not protocols, it's a very talkative system. So when you try to lock down one thing, you might prevent the database from functioning as well as it should, or even functioning at all, which has constantly been a struggle within my experience. My second role was more of that was the principal level where it was more, I was pointing direction saying like within this enclave that I was in charge of government, they have all the different types of networks. They have the unclassified commercial network, then go up to secret and top secret. And within top secret and secret, there's a bunch of different, this network only works on this one platform or only works with this type of group or this type of project. So my enclave was basically on the TS side, just about like, radio communications in the Middle East. So it was just how to capture this data, how to keep it secure and prevent a leak from happening because, on the government side, if they give you a clearance at the secret level, you're potentially handling information that can cause, grave danger, and then if the top secret level is exceptional grave danger. So if some of the ways that we capture data gets out, or if some of the ways of information that was captured in the Middle East that gets shared, that could cost a lot of American soldiers' lives and stuff. So it's probably not to the same level of protecting a private company, but it's that, and like I said, they don't like investing money into security either. Like they're going to put a bunch of people around base with weapons and everything, but on the cybersecurity side, man, it's not pretty.
Hey,
So you're basically hijacking enemies' network traffic.
No, I was very much like Tom. I'm very much on the defensive side, securing systems, securing networks, and then I did SOC for a little while, where basically as something happens, you have to respond to it and see what caused it, what we can do to prevent it from happening in the future, and what follow our established policies for that. So it's basically playing whack-a-mole.
All right, before
no end in
Vinny
sight.
kick off another question, I know he's ready to stay fired up with a question. Let's share the love, y'all. We got a couple other people who are on. Let's grab a question from someone else, or even if you have a comment, that's cool too. Great questions, Vinny. Uh, Ride Ridwan, Ridwan, or Quamsley, what you what you got over there? Feel free to come off mute, and you got a question, comment, let us know what's going on. While they're coming off mute, everyone, we're trying to figure out how to break into cybersecurity. If you don't know today, if you have questions, you, got tailor those questions to breaking in. You know, what issues are you having today? What's not working? What is working? Um, and let me pivot the conversation here. Let's talk about the resume piece. Tom, any guidance on, hey, I'm trying to put together a resume. What's the best 2 page, 1 page? Like, what's the best approach when doing resumes? And what can you tell us, bro?
So I'm definitely not a resume expert, and even when people ask me, I tell them my experience carries my resume like crazy. My resume is, I think, a little bit over 2 pages, so technically 3 pages. But I would say try to have, at least from my experience, when I was tailoring it like a year and a half ago, looking for a new role, I try to have as much of the keywords as far as, like, blue team cybersecurity goes on there, because I knew that would definitely play a part as far as, like, getting past the ATS. I try to not make it too fancy, as long as the standard. Your name is at the top. Job title. I think if you're even doing defensive security, you have multiple job titles on there, as far as, like, you can do SOC analyst, slash security analyst slash threat analyst slash, let's say, security engineer, whatever. Just having the tools that you used, the tools that I would even say that you've maybe shadowed using at your job, or you've used, let's say, for like a little bit, and then your company switched over, used it in the past, have that on there. The more tools that you can have on your resume, the better. The more hands-on experience that you have doing certain things at your job, and obviously articulating, or I guess documenting it properly on your resume, really helps. I'm trying to think. Like I said, I'm not really a resume expert, and I always tell people, hey, my experience definitely carries my resume, but resume is just one of those things that you definitely have to keep, like, tweaking, have to keep rewording every so often, especially if you're aggressively looking for a new job. You probably need to be working a resume multiple times a week. So that's what I can say.
About that, Tom, how do you feel about targeted resumes per employer?
I think it's good, especially if you see a job, for example, you're like, okay, I see this job description, I can do 70 to 80% of the things at this job. I think you need to tailor your resume to that role. Spend like the 5 minutes that it takes and apply, because it increases your chance of you hearing back. And then just based off that, you're already confident that just before applying, you're already confident that hey, I can already do like 70-80% of the job description. So I think that's definitely a good way. I think you should even have multiple resumes as far as like a job, like let's say for example, a resume focused on like SOC work, a resume focused on like threat intelligence for an example, because I don't think threat intelligence is not too far off like security operations work. You're just doing more of the debriefing or more of like the writing part. So I think, and even for IR can also be like your SOC resume, so it doesn't really need to be too far off. Definitely not no more than like 2 or 3 resumes though. Again,
Hi,
that's it,
y'all.
kind of like starting out. So.
Hi, I'm Raven,
What's up,
and
Ray?
I've been in cybersecurity for like 25 years, something crazy like that. 10 years in the military, federal government, and now I'm out in the industry. I've been out in the industry for a few years. But you better tailor your resume to the job if you don't, with the tools that they use in order to kind of, like, for every job that you put out, you get hundreds, if not thousands, of responses. And so they use tools, automation to kind of like get through them. If those resumes don't match the keywords that are in the position description, if you don't match the requirements that are in there, you'll never get a call back. So you have to do it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think it's better to.
Is there anything?
I agree too. I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's better to have like to put out let's say 10 applications of like tailored 10 tailored applications a day as opposed to like 50 applications that are not tailored. So
Is there anything that you would say like leave off the resume, or anything that you've seen? I don't know, people do poorly when it comes to resumes and stuff.
Oh man, that's a whole class.
Glasses, man. Don't do that.
there's a lot for that.
So some people, I think earlier, Tom said something about like making sure that you reference the tools and the applications and things that you supported. That's super important because they know, for example, if I don't know, if the job is to help with something related to ServiceNow or any other, Tenable or whatever, if they can see in your language that you already know that puts you ahead of over half of the applicants, because a lot of people don't do that. Some people feel like they have to fill up every inch of space, and it makes it hard to kind of like read. And you got to remember, like, when people are getting these things, they're getting a stack of them. So they're trying to quickly scan and read through. So you want to get your information in there, right? But then walk away from your resume and come back and scan it. Like, is how it's laid out, does it make it easy to understand who you are and what you do at the high level? Is that going to kind of get you off the trash pile and into the let's maybe have a conversation with this person pile? And then, like, the number one thing is people, I can't believe they do this, but like they literally submit resumes all the time. It's got all kinds of spelling errors, grammar errors, and no contact information. It's the wildest thing I ever seen. It's like, I want a job. Okay, how do I contact you?
Yeah, no LinkedIn on there too, man.
Oh, for sure.
They're gonna think you're unserious. They're gonna think you're a bot, to be honest. So.
I don't do this often. It's only 32 people in here, so I will say it. My first and last name, my name is Shawnetta Davis, SHAWNETTA. Go to LinkedIn, look at my profile. If you get your LinkedIn right, if you get your resume right, for the most part, you don't have to look for jobs. They come looking for you.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that too, but I figured most of the people here would be like, well, at least most of the people ask questions be like more entry level, so it doesn't really happen at the entry level.
You said
As soon as you start
Davis?
having a little bit of experience, the jobs definitely come to you.
You said Shanada Richardson? Oh, never mind.
No, I'm gonna post it.
I think that
Can I bug you for a reference?
hey, holla,
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't refer unless I know your work quality.
that's
I've
fine.
been in this game a long time, and when it comes down to it, so cybersecurity is really, really, really big, right? You can be in the SOC, you can be on incident response, you can be, the firewall king, you can be an auditor, you can be blue team, red team, whatever. You can be a lot of different things. You can be a person whose job is to put reports together for the CISO, for the Chief Information Security Officer, right? You can do a lot of different work within cybersecurity. So part of the first thing about getting in the door is maybe even figuring out, well, what do you like to do? Are you more of a hands on the keyboard type of a person? Are you like a superhero? You like when the bad guys come and they call you in the middle of the night and you go save the day? Are you a researcher? Are you um, are you a person who likes to put process together? Like there's a lot of different jobs within cybersecurity.
Yeah, your LinkedIn is fire. You got this program architect. What's a cybersecurity program architect? What them boys do? Talk to me. Talk to
I'm
me.
gonna tell you, and then I'm gonna tell you the secret sauce too, right?
All right.
So, all IT jobs, all of them, cybersecurity included. People get paid because we speak a language that others don't understand. But when you boil everything back, when you pull it all back, it's simple stuff. What is a program architect? That means I build programs. What do you want to do? Let me help you do that. And from the cybersecurity perspective, the job is let me help you do that securely, right? Most companies that hire cybersecurity folks are not cybersecurity companies. They are hospitals, they are government agencies, they do all kinds of stuff, right? But the job isn't quote unquote cybersecurity. There's only a few true cybersecurity firms out there, right? Everybody else is doing something else. They selling airplanes, they're doing all the things. Your job is to help them do their thing, whatever it is, where they want to do it, how they want to do it in a secure manner.
So let's.
If you can speak to them like that, you'll be good. But you got to remember, like when you're trying to get your foot in the door, you got to get past a few hurdles. The very first hurdle is the recruiting, HR. They know nothing about cybersecurity. So they're literally doing keyword matches. And if your keywords don't match their keywords, you're out of there. After you get the call back, now you're talking to the cybersecurity people. And at that point, that's when you gotta be game on.
So curiosity out of that, at the bottom of your resume, do you have like a whole section dedicated to skills with just like individual softwares that you work with or know about to help get past some of those ATS filters?
I do in some versions of my resume, and others I have it sprinkled throughout the experience. What I'm finding is that now, because people are used to scrolling and swiping and all that kind of stuff, they'll eventually get to the end and get all that stuff, but you need to have hit it before they get to the end or they'll never get to the end. Does that make sense?
So I have a question for Shanetta. When you said the key to making your profile stand out is your bio, right?
It's the whole package. It's the whole package. It's just like any other social media. You gotta kind of hook them in and make them want to talk to you. Give them just enough to go like, wait, I think that's something I need.
So what keywords are you using as an example?
It depends on the job. So who I support right now is like the chief information security officer and the CIO. So the words and things that you see there are focused to grab their attention. It depends on the work that you're trying to do. You really want to, wherever possible, like cater your language to what these people understand.
Okay. So basically, every job you apply for, just change up your LinkedIn bio a little bit to match with the job description.
I'll absolutely start posting stuff. Like if I know I'm gonna go after a certain type of job, then any post that I put out there, and I don't do a whole bunch of posts, but anything that the language that's out there, I'm gonna reshape that language to where I'm trying to go. And it works 100% of the time. I don't, at this point, like at any point in time, I definitely get at least 3 solid offers a week. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not interested, but I keep it updated. I keep it fresh. And at this point, like I'm fishing in a barrel. I can do whatever I want to do.
That sounds nice.
How
But
important
I
do you
want to be
think-
clear about something. I did that. Like I took that approach years ago. I've been eating off of a good LinkedIn profile and a good, for over 15 years.
So you are able to say, "Oh, I got 15 years of experience." They'd rather pick you than the new recruit who's trying to just get experience.
There's plenty of jobs out there, even for the new, because a lot of cybersecurity is like everyone would love to go find somebody with a CISSP and whatever. But that's also not necessary. They don't want that, for example, on help desk. They're not necessarily looking for that depending on the position in the SOC, right? So they're looking for you to be at their level, not like too high. So it's really find you the position descriptions that are posted, and then tailor what you have representing yourself to those positions. I promise you they'll start coming after you.
Yeah, and I'll layer in there too. There's levels, right? We know that if you're looking for a CISO, that's not the same creds and credentials that someone who's trying to be a SOC analyst. Nothing wrong with being a SOC analyst, but there's two different job functions, vastly different, in fact. So when you're targeting, you want to make sure you are not all over the place. You want to make sure that it's hyper clear what you're trying to do, and it's hyper clear what you've already done.
I love that.
All right, y'all. Where y'all want to take it? We're gonna probably hang out for another 15 minutes. Where we moving this thing? We talked about resumes. Cool. We beat it up a little bit. There was some good tips there. Where else are there hurdles? We know resumes. We did a little bit about recruiters, not too much. I'm big into leaning on recruiters, having them boys pedal work for me. Y'all want to touch on recruiters? What's going on?
Roman said, let's hear some things.
What do you say?
Nah, I'm just reading the comments.
Oh, yeah,
Somebody
hot
said,
takes?
let's hear some hot takes. Yeah, hot take number one. If you're not doing government work for cybersecurity, don't be get security.
Hey, Qualm, can you mute?
I got it, bro. Say it one more time, Tom. I missed it a little bit.
I say if you're not doing government work, like as far as cybersecurity goes, I don't think you need Security Plus. I think Security Plus is just,
Ooh.
at this point, it's just become like a check in the box kind of certification. You can definitely learn. I think you should definitely learn information, but I don't think you should like sit down and like take the exam and all that. Especially with the way the exam is very like tricky as far as like the way CompTIA likes to word the exams. I'll give you better certifications, especially for blue team. CYSA Plus is better. Blue Team Level 1 is better. Blue Team Level 1 is a certification that nobody talks about. It is from, I forgot the body that makes the certification, but Blue Team Level 1 is a 24-hour security operations and incident response certification. It's kind of like the OSCP for offensive security. The Blue Team Level 1 is you have, I believe, just say like 20 flags to capture within like 24 hours, and then you're just doing like incident response and security operations work. The certification is 100% practical. There's no checking of any boxes. And yeah, you have 24 hours to capture as many flags as possible. So I think any manager or any hiring manager or any like recruiter that knows about Blue Team Level 1 and they see that you have it, they know for a fact that 100% you can defend you can defend networks. You understand like the command line. You understand how to use for example like Microsoft Defender, Splunk. They just know for a fact that you have those tools. So that's why I keep telling people. Well, I don't tell people not to get Security Plus, to be honest. I don't really say it because a lot of people who are trying to get into cybersecurity don't even really understand what cybersecurity is. So Security Plus is good for sure. But
So, what's the best certification to
Hold on,
get
hold
that
on.
will make you get open doors to different jobs?
hold on. Let me make sure we clear what Tom just said up and make sure we're all super clear here. He just dropped something out there that's not a lot of people gravitate towards. It's not a route that people gravitate towards, and he mentioned that especially when you're going towards blue teaming. So you have he mapped it to the role. So if you map it to the role, that's going to reveal the best certs and put you on. So just to test his theory, I mean not theory, but just to test what he just said, I typed in LinkedIn, I typed in blue team level 1. A slew of jobs just came up, and both on site and remote, and a lot more on site though. Just to kind of confirm up another point that he made, a lot more are on site than remote. I'm seeing a lot of hybrid, but there's not a crazy amount of remote in here, just to be honest with you. So, but these are fantastic roles, junior level roles. Tom, would you say that someone could go snag that cert and then be positioned well for one of these like uh, junior level roles that are coming up?
yes, but the only thing about it is it's not like super well known. But for example, if I was a hiring manager and I saw, for example, that there's somebody applying to, let's say I have 10 candidates that the recruiter gave to me. 2 of them have blue team level 1. I already know for a fact. I understand like their baseline knowledge. I know they're decent with the command line. They probably know a little bit of scripting. They probably know how to use Microsoft Defender, how to use Microsoft Sentinel. They probably know how to use Splunk in a practical way, not just like, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. Um, they know how to work their way around like investigating a security alert, investigating incident response, etc., etc. Versus a person who has Security Plus, I know for a fact that Security Plus just tells me, okay, you know the difference between phishing and smishing. You know the difference.
You can pass a test.
Yeah, pretty much. So the only thing about Blue Team Level 1 is just not as known. But I'm telling you, the hiring managers that know Blue Team Level 1, it's kind of like the OSCP for like offensive security. Like you see a person with OSCP, you don't ask any questions. The only thing you ask is how much you want to make and where do you want to start. That's the only question you ask. It's just as simple as that. They don't ask, okay, tell me how you do this. They know you can do it because you taking the 24-hour exam. The OSCP is also like a 24-hour, like a practical exam. They don't ask you questions like that. They're like, when do you want to start? And then the only thing you should say back is, nah, I want to make $40,000 more. And they're like, fine, you have OSCP, like, you're that guy or you're that girl, so.
Beacon 67 has a really good point down in the chat. says most stock analyst jobs will train you how to use Defender and Azure Sentinel, and that's a really good point. There are a lot of quote unquote entry level cybersecurity jobs where, as long as you're able to, you can demonstrate that you can learn quickly and that you have a base understanding of technology, they will get you in there and they will train you. And in fact, they will pay for your training. And then if you get certifications, they'll pay for those. And then if they need to be like certain certifications, you have like an annual fee with them, they'll pay for that too. So if you're paying attention, like when you're having these conversations with them, right? You've gotten in, you've had the conversation, or you're in some type of technical job already. Look around for projects that you can be a part of that help get you to cybersecurity, and then ask those questions. Like when you're interviewing, ask those questions. How do you support professional training and growth? That's going to do two things. That's going to help you understand what they'll take care of that you don't have to come out of pocket for. And that will also signal to them that you kind of know what you're talking about. And maybe this person is a better candidate than the next one.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
banging.
makes sense.
Fire. In fact, there's not a lot of people saying all that because they're not speaking about the fact that there are people that want to set you up for success once you land the role. But you got to get to the door. You got to put in those apps. You have to make sure your resume is right to get past ATS. You have to do the work to make sure the resume has all the elements that it needs, so that way you're polished up when it's time to go interface with the team and the hiring manager. You're locked and loaded, ready to go, because you may just strike a chord through that tenacity, through that eagerness to learn. They may just be like, we're going to give you a shot. You don't really qualify for this role, but we're going to give you a shot. And I just took that away from what Baltimore said, but I experienced that myself. So I know it's out there, and I've seen others also experience it. So, yeah. So Vinny's saying that, like, I want to make 100K right after college. Boy, you better come suited and booted to get there, or have the plug. Like, you may know someone that could just plop you in there.
Or some finesse, right? So I was cracking up because I think it was Reddick earlier, was talking about how he said something about stigging. So basically, that's just baseline configuration standards, right? They put out CIS benchmarks or DISA stigs or whatever that say, hey, configure your things this way and they'll be secure. Many, many moons ago, I went after that job. I had never done that job before. And I legitimately just walked in there and I did not let them interview me. And what I mean by that is I walked in with some personality. They could tell through the resume that I'm a fast learner and that I understand technology. And they're like, yeah, but you're going to be in charge of like actually creating these for us and refining them for us. So they wanted you to go take them and customize them for that customer. I'd never done that. I didn't even fully all the way know what it was. But instead of like going in there and just like being nervous, like I was nervous, but like I didn't show them I was nervous. We had a conversation, and I want to say I asked them more questions than they asked me. We had so much fun in the interview. They were like, man, we got to get her in here because it's a whole vibe. And I learned the job really quickly and was able to perform and do it, but I knew that I was going to be able to do that, right? That's one of the number one skills that you have to have. Like, that's a mandatory for cybersecurity because no one's ever going to know it all, right? And whatever you know today is going to change tomorrow because they're constantly changing the tools. So the number one skill that you have to have is just being able to learn things quickly and at a level that gives you some like subject matter expertise kind of vibe.
That's fire.
We're blessed to have you here today. You are a breath of knowledge.
Yeah, good looking out, Baltimore. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for participating.
I appreciate that.
Vinny.
Well, listen, Danny, I already proved it, but you may not have been here, but it's okay.
Oh, I believe you.
She capping.
I feel like you have a lot of
They
a lot
trolling.
of knowledge.
So I need to say
So,
something
what's the
to.
consensus of? Sorry, go ahead.
Real quick, let me get this all. I need to say something to direct it towards the Vinnies of the world, because Vinny is the MVP. I feel today, bringing his plans, his goals, his desires to the table, and letting us go back and forth on it. Um, Earlier, Tom said you got 1%, bro. You got 1% chance of getting. That's all I need. Give me 1%. It's the odds are against me, but give me the 1%, and you have to go at it with that attitude, because you're gonna get no's all day, because it's true what he was saying. However, all you need is one little yes and a shot, and with if you push through and you power through and you don't quit, that perseverance is going to surface up and get you through, bro. So the can you do it? I think you can do it, but you have to believe you can do it. You have to go do that work. You have to go study and get all the knowledge that you need to go step in there. Unless you got somebody that could just plop you in there, then that's different. I call those creative players, because they're going to make sure that you're successful. They're going to train you up. They're going to throw everything they can at you to make sure you're good. But you got to have the plug. You have this network. You have to lean into your existing network. Lean into their network. All right, I'm done.
So, kind of leaning into networks, conferences and conventions. Is that a always go if they're free in my area type of thing?
For sure. For sure. I've walked up on so many jobs and opportunities just for being in the right place, connecting with the right people. And it might not even happen right then and there. Someone will remember something that you said a year ago and then hit you up and go, hey, are you available for X, Y, and Z? Are they paying? There are some that are bigger and more known than others, right? Like if I were had any involved with any of the color teams, right? Red, blue, red, purple, all the things. I'm definitely gonna try to get to Vegas and do Black Hat and DEF CON, right? You learn a lot. You learn a lot there. But that's if you're in that type of space. They have Gartner, they have so many different, they have Afrotech, they have, Render, they have all these different things that typically, even if they're paid, there are ways to get in there for free. A lot of times these people, especially if you're already attached with a company, you can literally be the janitor in a company, but because that is a known brand, like you're the janitor at Coca-Cola, you can finesse your way into a free ticket to go to these conferences because you work there, because you have that email address. So if it's free, go get your free education. A lot of times they're on site and they're virtual too. And a lot of the ones that are virtual, they have it set up where you can access the learnings later. But you also don't have to wait for a conference either, right? There's free certifications. Now, I would say this, although there are free certifications like available online, like Google offers some, and Amazon's got a few, and like they have them. That's not necessarily what the employer is looking for, but from a knowledge perspective, that at least gives you a baseline for you to start understanding like the different types of cybersecurity, maybe what you want to do, and then giving you, the insight to learn those different tracks, right? So I would take advantage of it. I would absolutely take advantage of it. I did take advantage of it.
Love that. So you said you want to be a black hat?
No.
In Vegas, they have like DEF CON and Black Hat, and then so basically, what you can think of it is like the good guys and the bad guys.
Yeah, and everyone, we are about out of time. As much as I know, everyone could keep going throughout the night. We need to
I was gonna say, let me drop some knowledge real quick.
go ahead, Danny. Tom, you got a little bit more time to share. Just 5 minutes.
I
Yeah.
got you real quick, bro.
Come on with it, man.
Now listen to me. Alright, I'm 32 years old, bro. No, whoa, I'm 34 now. Damn, time flies. But hear me out. I tried to go the corporate way. I was working for college hunks, and I became operations manager in New York City with that shit. Yeah, it did open some doors, but limited. You feel me? Very limited.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. I already know where you're going, bro. You gotta tighten this up. Number one. Number two. You can't be out here with the filthy potty mouth on the live. Try to keep it to TikTok friendly language. Go ahead and come off me, bro. Get it off. So that way we can tackle it real quick.
Don't feel bad. You're not the first one.
Anyway, my bad, bro. This is like my first time on
It's all good.
this.
Take your time. Take your time.
Ahorita, I'm over here. I got you. Yeah. All right. So my bad. It's my girl. Back to what I was saying. When I was 18, I tried that field. Later on, my boy put me on blue collar. I'll be honest with you, bro. I thought blue collar was BS, whatever. Hard labor, whatever. But within like 5 years, I made $250,000. In 5 years, I was able to make $250,000. Really freaking fast. I did 10 years, and I was getting paid $345 a year.
Bro.
Blue collar.
Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way.
And they pay you, bro.
Hold on, bro. Ain't no way you up here talking about that. Hold on. So you got to make your point. Brevity, everyone. You have to make your point. We have to get folks out of here, and we have to move on with our evenings and days. And I see some people are joining in from the UK. So we are.
Hey, Day. I don't really feel rushed, man. Let the man speak.
Yeah, but I'm about to get folks out of here. So Danny, bro, get it off. Come on, man.
Bro's giving the game.
All right, but basically what I'm trying to say is when I got to blue collar, bro, I started making mad money, and then you start making money on the side because everything they pay you to learn. And after that, when you go, say, residential, you can make your own prices, and now you start your own company. Low-key, now you got other people working underneath you. Now you can teach apprentices. You see what I'm saying? Like, blue collar, bro, overall, they basically, they teach you how to, like, survive on your own.
All right, that's enough. That's enough. I'm sorry, bro. No,
Bro,
don't
thank
take it
you,
as
man.
disrespect.
Look, man, I didn't want to be that guy, but
Yeah, don't take it as disrespect, bro. We're up here talking about something specific, and it's cybersecurity focus. DM me if you want to chat about it, but we got to keep the party going. And in fact, Tom, bro, get us out of here, man. Like, drop us some couple of nuggets that you may have been tossing around in your head, and then we'll sign off for the evening.
Okay. Damn, you kind of put me on the spot here, but I will say this though. If you want to break into cybersecurity in the year of our Lord 2026, I think you should be owning your skills every day, working hard, networking, and there's not this one magical thing that you're gonna do that's gonna help you break into the industry. I think you need to strive towards being an expert at interviewing, understanding networking, understanding security concepts, understanding security tooling, understanding, for example, blue teaming, understanding how to network with people, going to conferences, doing everything in the box so that you put yourself in the best position to be that top candidate that, they just don't have a choice but to hire you. don't go around asking these influencers in the inbox, hey, what's that one thing that I can do that can help me? There's not one thing, except if your dad owns a company, then he can hire you. Or except if your dad's best friend owns a company. But besides that, hone your skills, learn as much as you can, go to physical conferences, let them know you, let them know why you're there, let them know what you're trying to get into. When people like see you in person and they see your determination, but they'll give out a referral for you. They put out a referral for you. They'll talk to the hiring manager for you. And at the end of the day, for most of these jobs, when you refer somebody, they get paid too. So they get a referral bonus. You probably get a referral bonus too. So I hope that sticks for some of you. And yeah, hope that helps.
Yeah, fire, fire, fire. All right, guys got me over here doing silly stuff. Look, hey, Tom, thanks for coming through, chatting with us, bro. Thanks for sharing some knowledge. We'll probably need you back, bro. And feel free to pop in to any future lives. I see several people in here. What's up, Tech Bro? What's good, man? Hey, everyone. So we will be starting up a Discord very soon, and it will be an extension of what's going on here as far as like taking these conversations, being able to actually work through practical pieces and growing. But Cyber John is the one running lead, and I'm glad to be a part of it and participating and helping folks out. So more information coming on that. Check my profile. You'll see some folks coming through, just like Tom came through and blessed us with his time. I see Cyber N is over here in here. Welcome in, bro. He's another guest that's coming through, and everyone has a different topic. Like everyone has a different expertise. When we get Tom back here, we could talk about blue teaming specifically, and then he can go in and help folks with tooling. How to break in with that specific route. Baltimore, thank you so much for leaning in. You dropped some crazy nuggets throughout the live, so we appreciate you. You're welcome back. Cyber Secrets, thanks for always joining in, popping in some questions, bro. I much appreciate it. Vinny, if you can still hear me, bro, you're the MVP. We need more people that are stepping up to bridge this gap between the folks who are emerging in the space, because you are emerging, and to the folks who are established. So he asked some questions, y'all, that he did not know the answer to and was seeking answers. And I think we fielded them pretty good for the most part. And well, for now, we're gonna sign out. I appreciate everyone. Have a great rest of your afternoon, evening, or even morning, where you are. So thank you. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.